Hello guys, and welcome to Spotternaut Scale Creations YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you an inbox review of the Special Hobby 1/72 scale Saab AJS 37 Viggen, and this kit is in the special boxing of the Show Must Go On special painted all red Viggen. This particular aircraft was painted all red to mark the end of the Viggen era on F10 wing in Ängelholm. Opening the box, we find one plastic bag containing all the sprues and the Decals sheet. Starting off with the first sprue, this one is containing the top of the wings with the landing gear base. It contains the nose, the flaps for the canards, the fin for the AJS 37 and for the JA and SK 37. It's the first fin we're going to use, not the latter for this build, and also the air intakes. Zooming in to show you the crisp, delicate panel lines, and these will really pop with a fine wash when painted. Taking a closer look at the landing gear bay detailing for the main landing gear as well. Next sprue, here we have the front fuselage, we have the exhaust, main undercarriage doors, a few more details like linking and etc. for the landing gear and landing gear bay doors. Switching to the next frame, we have the belly, we have the rear fuselage, and we have a few actuator hinges for the wings as well, and the main landing gear at the lower right part of this frame. Taking a closer look at the main landing gear, the detailing is very good for the 72nd scale. Switching to the next frame, we have two different styles of drop tanks, one for the AJS and one for the JA 37 Viggen. We have the air intake channels as well, and to go along with them we have the thrust reverser panels to close the exhaust for thrust reversing. We also have cockpit tubs, nose landing gear bay and weapon pylons. Taking a closer look at the cockpit tubs, we have the AJS 37 cockpit tub, which also is the front seat of the SK 37 trainer, along with the back seat and the cockpit for the JA 37. Looking at the thrust reverser panels, we don't have any detailing on the inside, but it is an ejector pin mark that has to be sanded. On the next sprue, you will find detailing parts such as the ejection seat, two of course, so we have a backseater in an ejection seat as well. We have instrument panels, one for the rear seat, one for the AJS cockpit and one for the JA Fighter Viggen cockpit as well. You'll find other detailing parts such as small air inlets, we have some linkage for the landing gear, we have nose gear strut as well, and we have the wheels, both the main wheels and the front nose wheel. We have some more detailing for the ejection seat as well, along with fins for the drop tanks. Taking a closer look at all the detailing, you'll see it is more than sufficient for the 1/72nd scale. Next sprue contains the canard wings as well as the bottom of the main wings, and that is one part together with the belly of the fuselage. You also have the air brakes, both for the sides of the fuselage as well as the bottom. We have the detailing part for the ram air turbine, if you choose to cut that panel open, as well as some landing gear doors for the nose landing gear. The wings are finely molded as well, with a notch and the flaps molded as one piece with the lower fuselage wings, and this joint makes it pretty easy to use your razor saw to cut them and make them droop as on a parked Viggen. Nice panel line on the belly as well to follow with your razor saw. Continuing with the clear parts, the last sprue packed in a separate plastic bag inside the main plastic bag. Here you have lots of small detailing windows for the Viggen with a photo recon nose and some camera aperture windows. You have the main canopy as well as the front windscreen. Taking a look at the clarity of the parts, there is a little bit of distortion, but nothing to worry about. On to the decals, which comes in a separate plastic bag as well to prevent them from scratching, and I myself prefer to get rid of this plastic bag and put them in a Ziploc bag. Mostly white decals, fine printed with some detailing in other colors, such as the fin number 57, ghost logos to go on the nose, as well as some smaller detailing. The show must go on lettering for the fuselage sides with some cutouts to be put over a few air intakes to make the text look right. Nice in register, as I said, and I think the white is of decent opacity. The instructions comes in a booklet of A5 size with a brief history of the Viggen on the front page in both English and Czech language. On the first fold out we have the parts layout on the sprues. We have a few parts which are not to be used, and they are clearly marked with a red X. Color callouts for the main painting of details. First page, as usual, we start with the cockpit. Remember to study the instructions carefully and take a note of where you have to open up holes for weapon pylons and etc. Page number 2, we bring the cockpit together with the bottom fuselage and sandwich the air intake channel in between. At this stage we also add the nose gear bay as well as the ram air turbine inset. On the next page you'll find the fan for the air intake as well as the exhaust with the thrust reverser panels sandwiched between the upper fuselage or the upper rear fuselage, and then those parts are to be joined with the lower wing. So there we have the front fuselage with the cockpit and air intake mated together, and the rear section of the fuselage with the lower wing, and mating those two into one piece, and we have something that looks like a Viggen at least. Moving along, we add the air intakes and the two-part radome. On the belly we add an ECS air inlet together with the central weapons pylon. More weapon pylons to be added, as well as the fin And then we move on to the nose landing gear and nose landing gear bay doors. With the nose landing gear done, we continue to the main landing gear, and take note here, the main landing gear big door is only to be open for service purposes. Normally it is closed on ground, but with a slight 5 cm gap on the real aircraft. So make this one droop just a tiny bit to get it historically correct. Next we add the canards together with the canard flaps as well, and adding the air brakes for the upper and lower fuselage. Normally the air brakes on the upper fuselage are closed on ground, and the lower ones they droop a tiny bit. Adding the ram air turbine with the door as well if you chose this route earlier. Finally, we add the drop tank and the canopy and front windshield before our AJS 37 Viggen is complete. Zooming in on the paint guide, you'll see that the all red Viggen has just a minor few details in black and in not silver but aluminum. The fin tip and the radome is black. We have some steel parts for the thrust reversing mechanism, and we have the fuselage all red with white decals. Taking a closer look at the upper and lower parts of the aircraft, as well as the rear part of the drop tank, which was fitted with decals of the Swedish national insignia, but only the 3 crowns. There you have it, the Special Hobby Saab AJS 37 Viggen in its The Show Must Go On boxing with special decals. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And if you liked what you saw, please give this video a like. Thank you and see you next time.